So that's how we were brought. And that's where I became a rebel. My first rebellion act was when I was very little, when I was in nursery school. And I was admitted in a Gujarati boarding school. And man, I said, okay, no, this is not for me. I went for a few days. I said, no, I will not go. Every time somebody came to pick me up, I used to go and hide. And I said, I want to go to an English school. If you don't take me there, I don't want to go to school. Finally, it was my nanny. My nanny loved me absolutely. She was the one, she said that I will take her. My grandfather said, no way, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to take her to any school. She has to go to this school. My granny said, no, I will do that for her. So she was the one who first took me to English medium school. And it was in the middle of the year. So I got admission in a Parsi school. I had good time in school. We had a whole lot of friends. But I was an average student, nothing outstanding. We did no sports, nothing of besides studies. After that, I went to Wadia College. Wadia College in Pune was one of the most well-known college and notorious college. And that's the time when I was suddenly free. First time I saw freedom. And I thoroughly enjoyed being in the college. I met my husband, Ravi, over there. We were great friends. We did everything together. We spent the whole day together. Initially, we were just friends. For many years, we were just friends till we started going out together. Really, we got into an affair and we decided to get married.
Very good.
When we got married, it was like a big problem. My family, there was no way was going to let me do any of this. Grandfather ki to baat hi aur thi. He did everything. He locked me up. He tried with my friends to break the relationship. Any possible thing he must have tried, but nothing worked. And I was very adamant. I said, no way, I'm going to leave. I'm going to get married. I was thrown out of the house. I was excommunicated. And when I was thrown out, it was in the middle of the night. And I left the house in my nightwear. No money, no nothing. My grandfather said, just walk out the way you are. Take nothing. And that's when we decided we have to get married. So we got married.
Amazing.
When we got married, both of us were still studying. Ravi was taking admission in university to do his master's.
So this was which year, if I may ask?
This was 1975.
1975.
Yeah. No, 1975. That's when we got married. No, 1974. That was when we decided. So we got married in the beginning of 1975. So then I left. I did not study. It so happened that the day we got married, I got my first employment in Philips. The guy had come to invite me to give me the job. So I took the job. And that's how we saved ourselves, because Ravi was also all alone. His mother had expired, father had expired, and there was no means of income at that time.
Oh.
So what money I got paid for Ravi's education, took care of Ravi's education. And once Ravi finished his studies, I continued with my master's, and I did master's in social work and specialized in medicine and psychiatry.
Excellent.
I did very well in my specialization. I stood first in Pune University.
Oh, very good. Congratulations.
Yeah. Immediately after my graduation, my master's, I got friendly with a gentleman who wanted to start a child welfare institute. So he, with two more people, we started Child Welfare Institute in Pune. This was an adoption center, and we had children from all age, 0 to 6 months, and we gave these children in adoption, and we took other children, older children, and that was for temporary residence in our adoption center. We found homes for these children, and we did a lot of work. But then this was an NGO,
Yes.
and being an NGO, the pay was not so great. There was no chance of making great money, and our vision was to do business and make money. We had to create wealth because that was ultimately what we wanted to do. So then after that, I started my training in exports. I took small courses, short courses in exports, and I thought I'll become an exporter. Tried many things and tried sending samples, but nothing really worked. So in those days, there was this builder friend of ours who was a very good friend of ours, and he was making some new projects, coming up with new projects. So he said that, why don't you try real estate? And then I said, how can I do real estate? I don't even know what it means. I have no idea. I had never seen any flats. I'd seen no such homes or nothing. You know, we came from such uh, a family where nobody was in such a business. We didn't have flats. We had a building which was there, and this house that I was living was a little cottage that we lived in. Anyway, he said, no, you try your hands and this will do well. So I had a partner, I got a partner, and both of us, we started.
So this was in which year?
This was in 1981 that actually we started. But that did not work out too well, you know, because my partner and me, we did not click. So in 1982, I started on my own, and we started in the name of Realtors.
Very good.
This name was also suggested to us by a friend of us. I too didn't know what Realtors was, but then he had traveled and he knew what Realtors meant. So he said, this is a good name. So we went to one of the builders, Karya Builders in Pune.
Yes.
And those days, Umesh had just come back from USA. So he said, great, it's a great name. So you must have to call yourself Realtors. And that's how Realtors came into being. Even people around us, nobody knew what Realtors was, and they called it Relators. But then ultimately, all the builders and brokers, they got to know about this, and everybody used the term. Everybody was so-and-so realtors, so-and-so builders and realtors. So that's when we realized in 1986 that we have to do something about this. So we patented the name. So I patented as our name, and we became the only realtors, known realtors as such.
And then thanks to you, I think you must have never thought कि एक दिन ये realtor पूरे NR India को काम में आएगा. I mean,
yes.
because आपके अंदर एक अच्छी ये थी भावना थी, इसलिए ये चीज यहाँ से यहाँ तक पहुंची. You know, it is always said whatever you give in universe will come back to you.
Yes, that is true.
Tell me, when you started in 82, what kind of industry in Pune? I came in Mumbai in 86, so compared to Mumbai, Pune that time was not that good, great in real estate, you know.
Pune hardly, you know, I was the second lady broker in Pune. First one was Naresh Malkani's mother.
Yes.
And she was very well known in Pune. And Atur Santani, Atur Builders were the big builders in Pune those days.
Yes.
And she was working exclusively with Atur Santani.
Okay. And what kind of transaction you were doing in those times? What kind of pricing were there in Pune? You must be doing only land and...
No, we did. See, when I started, as I told you, I didn't know anything about real estate. I had no idea what flats were and what kind of rates and what was what. But this builder friend of mine, he said, I will help you. And he promised to help us. And he did. So that's how we got to know some basic things about the real estate. So it was initially, it was just flats, you know, we were looking at simple flats. But then it took me a very long time to learn, you know, because learning in a business which you don't know was very slow. And market was also in recession those days.
Yeah, 82 was the recession. And do you know your first transaction? How much money you earned in your
Yes,
first?
my first transaction was with Herms Builders. No, it was a bungalow that we sold. and that was in Lulanagar. And the bungalow was for some 10 lakhs or something, you know. So that was the brokerage we got. So each of us, we got the something 20,000, and it was, oh my God, it was grand ransom at that time, you know, means we really felt rich, you know, that was something. And then I think the first flat we sold was with Herms Builders, you
Yes.
know, the Ramesh Thakkar, he was there. So it was a small flat in one of their buildings. That was the flat we sold. But then we had no idea. Many
So,
people came for flats also those days, and I used to didn't know much. So I said, no, no, don't take this, and I used to force them to take something that I knew. You know, so that's what I used to do, and I used to lose clients. But then that was learning time for me. I really learned the business in those days, and especially because market was in recession, it was a big help.
so from 82 to 87, within 5 years, you could understand what is the opportunity in this business.
Oh
And
yes, oh yes.
what made Ravi come in? You brought him in business forcefully, okay, this is a good opportunity, or he came himself?
Ravi was working for an industry then, and he was doing very well. He was marketing manager,
Yes.
and as everybody knows, Ravi is out and out leader. He is a leader and he is professional. So when I was doing real estate on my own, I did very well. I had lots of friends. I made all my friends that came in, all the builders became my personal friends. My clients became my personal friends. And I did very well. And I required help then, you know, because I was all alone. And then Sunil was there with me, who was managing the phone. And I used to roam around all over
Okay.
looking after the business. So then Ravi was in Electronica, and his salary we never had to touch because my business was doing very well. I was so friendly with all the builders, especially all the big ones. I got mandate from the companies for the block booking. So all that was happening and that was doing well. So that's when Ravi came in because I needed some extra help. And Ravi's salary we never used. So it was a big help that he came in, and you know, then after that it was history. It's in history. It's a big jump that we had from one, it became tenfolds, you know.
So
Because
I think, you know,
Ravi is an expander of business.
absolutely,
And
absolutely. So
but
before,
expansion is
yes, before I invite Ravi to share first about himself and then how his journey started. Tabu, I think those 5 years, now we have got a lot of resources and infrastructure in real estate brokerage business. But that time only most important thing to grow business was relationship.
oh
And
yes, it was only relationship, and I was very
you are
friendly
very
with
good at,
everybody.
you are very good at that. Right now we have one of your client who became your family friend, Indu Rao, is online right now. And
As I told you earlier, Indu is not just my family. She
yes,
is more than family, more than everything.
so I
She
think,
is
you know,
my soulmate.
when people ask about the definition of successful, I think it is not only in terms of money, but you have done business with somebody, made friends, and that friendship went up to extended family. So that's a great skill and great nature of yours, which this kind of things can happen in life, you know. So
That's right.
Indu Rao's friend Virendra Vij is a close friend of mine. He's a Rotarian, and I
He's
was
our friend too.
yesterday. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
sharing with him yesterday when he saw a post on Facebook about your photo, and he was speaking great about both of you, and he was sharing a lot of incidences he had during his last 30 years relationship with you. So that's an amazing thing, you know. Thank you, Tabu, for sharing. I think I don't know, even I didn't know about you, though I know you for last 10 years.
I must also put in that when we started, land ceiling was already in.
Yes,
And that was a time when 37EE was also introduced.
doubly,
And
yeah. You
there, yes,
filed that program,
yes,
and
where we had to give properties first to government, show it.
yes.
And if government rejected the property, then we can show it to the builders and sell it further.
So in those
So,
times, one transaction was taking a lot of time because
lot of time,
from
yes,
from
yeah,
34, 37 is reply to come.
yeah, that's right.
Great.
But
I
there were
think
simpler times as compared to now. Now it is much, much more difficult. Many things have come in. Very simple times.
so. I always tell people, we say that real estate industry was earlier unorganized, and now it is getting organized. But I also feel, as you said, earlier it was unorganized, but people were respecting words. You don't have to write anything or take anything, and they were whatever they have committed, they were delivering, even though it was very unorganized. Now being
Yes.
organized, even if किसी ने आपको लिख के दिया है तो भी वो fulfill नहीं कर रहा है. आपके पास रेरा है, सब चीज है. There are more complications in organized world than in unorganized world.
Yeah, but then we also introduced a form which gave client profile. We had all the details of clients, their requirements, where they wanted property, kind of property they wanted, budget, and also there was a last line in that talking about a brokerage.
True.
And once they sign, that means they accept the brokerage. So because of that, we never had great problems where brokerage was also concerned. So it was one of the practices, and we did business very, very ethically.
Yes.
We followed strict code of ethics. We followed the rules of the land, and very honestly, we did the business, quoted right price, and that's how it was working very well. And I had a lot of clients.
Excellent. So your foundation stone was so strong in terms of core values of the organization and building relationship with your customer. I think that's how your company reached here. And let us welcome Mr. Ravi Varma, who is, and I must thank Tabu Varma for giving such a fantastic person to the real estate broking fraternity, who is now the chairman of NAR India and leader of entire industry in India. So you don't know about, apart from business, what you has given to this fraternity of real estate brokerage by inviting Ravi to this profession. Ravi sir, first, before we jump into the interaction, please share about your story also. Where are you from? Are you from Pune, born and brought up, and your family and your school and college? Your volume, sir. Can you unmute, please? Please unmute yourself.
Hi, Vinod. Nice to be on your show.
Thank you.
I am here, of course, as a student. Ki Paathshala mein. Tabu got me into the business. She brought me to your Paathshala also.
Yes.
So my folks came from Lahore, and they were actually professional refugees. So they were refugees from Burma. They were driven out of there during the Japanese war. And they went to Lahore thinking that Punjabiyon ko Lahore se kaun nikalega. But 5 years later, partition happened. So Pune in those days used to look a little like Lahore. So my father decided to come and settle in Pune. That's how we came here. And for all these exertions of being a refugee and all, it didn't last very long. In 1960, he passed away. My mother brought me up. I went to very good schools as a child. We were really poor, but we didn't think of ourselves as poor because we didn't know anything else. But my mother made sure that I went to a fantastic institution called Sainik School Satara.
Yes.
It was on 220 acres of land. We had to get up at 5 in the morning, run around the mountain Ajinkya Tara and Satara, and then do another hour of exercise. But it was a fabulous school. It was senior Cambridge. When Punjab government split, I lost my scholarship. So they started wondering now who's going to pay his money. And it was in those days also, it used to be about 320 bucks. In 1962, a lot of money.
Yes.
So I had to leave, and senior Cambridge means I went to another very good school in Pune. We called it the best school in Pune because St. Mary's, the best girls' school, was next door. And the prettiest girls used to study there. So we all enjoyed going to school. And later, of course, went to Wadia College. Wadia was, you have to understand what that culture was and why so many people used to get married over there. Along with me, there were 5 friends who got married while they were in college.
Wow.
So when we went for admission, I had a friend who's now a famous trainer, and we saw at the entrance, leaning against a tree, there was this handsome boy who was singing Lal Chadi Maidan Khadi to a girl going by. So we looked at each other. हमने बोला ये सही college में आए हैं हम. We have come to the right college. So that's how gradually, you know, when you are in college, first thing you want to do is know the girls. Absolutely. So I stood for election and I got to know, in the process, we got to know all the ladies. So that is how I got to know Tabu.
Yeah. So,
and that's how it was. When she was excommunicated, I was doing MBA. So first she studied and she worked and I studied, and but then I worked and she finished her studies. So like that, we kind of built our life together. I got very good jobs, but marketing jobs required a lot of traveling, so there was no family life. Used to travel about 20 days in a month. But when I joined Tabu, I used to feel that इधर घोड़े और गधे में कुछ फर्क नहीं है. You know, so whether you are educated or not educated, I was in a state of shock, and which continued for more than a decade, because I had never seen an industry like this. First and foremost, I could not understand why should a person, why were people paying so much money to just see flats and negotiate a price, you know? And because when I did my first deal, the money I got out of that was equal to more than the entire year's salary that I would get on the job. And that is living out of a bag, going all over the countryside, you know. So anyway, so that was a shock. We did really well, because I very quickly realized that the people who are manufacturers were not very different from us. They neither had special skills, nor did they have the kind of money that they were projecting to have. All the money was other people's money.
True.
And I'll give you an example of this, because that opened my eyes on what I should be doing. On my last flight for the company, there was a very fast upcoming builder in Pune, Graphicon Builders. And it was headed by a guy called Atul Bhagat. Now, this person apparently did not have any special characteristics, but he told me that, you know, your wife deals only with the big builders and never sells land to us. Land was in short supply because of urban land ceiling. So the first 16 plots that I sold were all bought by this guy, who apparently did not have anything that I considered very special. And one day I asked him, boss, tu jo bhi zameen dekhta hai, bolta hai, you want to buy it. You know, the success mantra was to own land at that time. If you had land as a builder, you were a winner, because there was huge scarcity.
Yes.
So he looked at me and he said, Ravi, I have all the money in the world, because none of it is mine. You know? Now, that was an eye-opener for me. I thought, my life cannot be dependent on this kind of things and these kind of people. So I joined her in 87. In 87, January, we bought our first land.
Wow.
Near Viman Nagar, that is near the airport. It was 2 lakh square feet. And then we never looked back. I said, first I must secure a stream of income that is independent of dealing with this chaotic market, which we call real estate.
Yes.
After that, we kept on buying and selling land. You'll be surprised that we bought our first land at 24 rupees. And in 1.5 months, we sold it at 56.
Oh, so that
Okay.
was a
Yeah,
market.
that was the market at that time. So then we started one vertical, which was trading. The other vertical we started collecting left, right, and center. And one was developing bungalow societies. Now, between Tabu and I, we never wanted to borrow money.
True.
Because our mindset was that of a lower middle class or middle class Indian. And we said that, and people had told me enough, and I had seen builders come into trouble only because the interest rates in those days used to be 24 to 36%.
Absolutely.
And because of that, these guys would get into, with the slightest stalling of the market, whole lot of people would declare bankruptcies, you know, because they could not service the interest. So this vertical, we spun off into another company called Willingdon Estates. Why Willingdon? Because most of our clients were Bombay people. Bombay mein Willingdon club mein you can't get into as a member.
Yes.
So you would get membership into Willingdon Heights, Willingdon Estates, and Willingdon Enclave, etc. in Pune. Okay. Now that was also a marketing ploy.
Absolutely.
At the same time, in 1995, we started representing JLL in Pune.
1995.
You know, Rakesh Patnaik used to head JLL at that time.
Yes.
So I got exposed to all the best practices in real estate. In those days, there were no smart cameras and smartphones and so what they used to do is every proposal, you know, they took photographs of, pasted it on the letter that they were writing. Hard copies were the in thing at that time, 1995, 96.
95.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they listed every outgoing in the deal. Okay. Now these are things that in those days brokers never did. They would tell you the basic price, and if you probe too much, they would tell you these are the taxes, registration itna, so on, and stamp duty itna, etc., etc. So that was a turning point as far as I was concerned professionally.
Correct.
On the other hand, in 1987, when I joined the book, it was also the time that the builders got organized in Pune.
Yes.
It was called Promoter and Builders Association of Pune. And they told us that you also get organized so we can talk one-on-one to each other. Correct. So we started what was called EAP,
yes,
Estate Agents Association of Pune, which later became the oldest and largest association constituent of National Association of Realtors. Today they are in court, they have imploded, but I headed that association for 6 years as a president, and I was for 16 years there on the managing committee. So we brought best practices, laid down protocols, code of ethics, brought in best policies from wherever we could find to see that we regularize the business. And we offer standard price, we offer standard services for standard prices. Excellent. So that there was no laissez faire, that somebody charging 3%, somebody charging 2%, all that nonsense we didn't want our members to be doing.
True.
And we told builders that, you know, you please have steady policies, because builders also in those days, when the times were very good, they wanted to pay you 1%. When the times were bad, they would say, "Arey 3% lena, 4% lena," kind of thing. So I told them, "Boss, this is not good for the industry.
Correct.
Doesn't bode well for our image either."
True.
So that is when I got involved in the process of organizing our profession so that it is respected, and which people can look forward to joining.
So that's great, Ravi sir. What I want to ask you is, you know, even I have heard many times at many platforms, you know, that those people who are broker who don't have any work, they were becoming broker in real estate. And as you said correctly, broker need to only know 4 things. Where is the flat, who is the builder, what is stamp duty, what is parking charges, and registration. That's all. अब एक ब्रोकर को बिजनेस करने के लिए 6-7 चीज से ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं था समझो. But both of you are highly educated and you enter real estate in those times. So I think because of your professional academics, you could made a big difference not only in your organization, but you brought that to the entire fraternity by being a part of EAAP and advising developers that this is not the way you should do business. I think moving forward, if you be more organized, your scale, you can scale up the business and your industry size. You look at industry size in Pune, for example. When you started compared to 87, where are we now? What kind of changes both of you see from 87 to now 2020?
What we used to do in those days and what we do now, you will not recognize the industry at all. So if there is a sea change, what you just narrated, if you try to do brokerage in that manner, you will be out of the market or you will be scratching for a living. You're not going to be successful. The market has expanded considerably. On a physical level, whatever Pune used to be in 1987, now there are 37 more villages added to Pune.
Yes.
So that is the physical size that has grown. We have a highly, as you know, that CRIDA is also very, very well organized in Pune. We are the only city that has a real analysis of what kind of product is moving in which locality, what is the velocity, how many flats have been sanctioned, how many have got completed, what is the inventory left at the moment, what price it is going at, what it was selling at when it was launched. So this kind of analytical approach is there in CRIDA in Pune. And as we have started at National Association of Realtors, we also have our own analysis in 50 cities across the country, as you are well aware. So Pune has changed a hell of a lot. We have, for example, 100 million square feet of IT space alone, out of which 65 million square feet has been leased out privately.
Okay.
35 million square feet is in campuses like TC as a campus, MBT has a campus, Cognizant has a campus, Wipro has a campus. Those are in campuses. So the fallout of this IT is huge as far as retail is concerned, housing is concerned, etc., etc. The other very important thing is that we have 570 colleges in Pune.
570 colleges?
570 colleges, of which, if I share the data with you, it will open your eyes, that 178 are engineering colleges.
Oh.
56 colleges are medical colleges. Technical colleges, more than 180 are MBAs, ones that teach management education.
Yes.
And so on and so forth. There are law colleges, and 302 units of the army, 30 institutions that are doing only research for the army. Okay. And so Pune has grown, and it has grown hell of a lot. It's bursting at its sides.
Excellent.
If I tell you there are 51,000 registered industries in this town, it will really shock you.
So I think Pune is one of the fastest growing city in India if we compare in last 2 decades. In terms of everything, I think economic, industrial, service industry, education, and especially, do you think IT is the major industry which who has changed the city of Pune?
IT has changed it considerably, but it is not the only story in town. As I told you before, manufacturing is big. Now if everybody's focusing on logistics because suddenly everybody wants to order everything online.
Yes.
But logistics was always big in Pune because automotive industries are many. The entire Telco group is here, Bajaj group is here. And people like Mahindras are also manufacturing in Pune, and besides Mercedes and many others. So there are many areas like Chakan, Talegaon, Diggi, Vagoli, Lonikand, Ranjangaon, Shirwal, all logistic hubs. So Indospace has 100 acres here, stuff like that. So if you get me talking of Pune, we can take up all the time here.
So let us go back to your company now.
Yes.
So, few questions. That number one, how both of you team up? I mean, you two are different in nature.
Personality. Yeah, we have different personalities.
Your own space, But how to team up in business? It is not easy. Why did you choose to be together? Because of course, one is you love each other so much that you get more time together throughout the life. That is the bonus point for you. But how do you team up? Tabu, first you.
I must come in for that, yeah. Ravi and me, we've had very little choice where that was concerned. So we had to work together.
Okay.
We didn't have any other family who was going to support us. So what was there, we had to make the best of it. So that's how we worked together. And we did quite well. He generally concentrated on big deals, land deals, development of land. And I was still doing my retail work, retail of small offices, shops, residents, bungalow rentals, all those things were still managed. But as we went forward, we employed so many people. And then we started giving them incentive.
Very good.
So that they could also progress and become as well off, or as they should. We thought that money, they must also make money. It's not just us. So we had to share. They became our stakeholders. So we had to share what we made. And so they became part of us. So as we grew, we started passing on these inquiries to them so that they can make some money. So that's what we did. So as a team, we all do very well. Only when there is emergency, when they are stuck somewhere, then we of course there to help them. So Ravi is there constantly doing that, and he is mainly doing these big deals of land deals and finding new lands and getting to the farmers. And our Sunil, who is great with revenue,
yes,
is one of the better ones in Pune. He gets the big pieces. He finds the people, he does the work on that. He does research and does all our land deals where that is concerned. Sunil came to us as a very, very small person, but he was hungry to learn. He was the one who could absorb. He came so raw, and he absorbed and he became really good. At that time when he came, he didn't know English, he didn't know Hindi, he didn't know any language except his own Telugu and Marathi. He could not understand anything. He didn't know good morning, good evening, nothing.
Yes.
So that's where he grew.
I met him, and you really molded. You're like a mentor to him, and he's also so committed. And as you said, he's hungry for learning.
Yes, he is.
Real estate with a lot of passion.
A lot of passion.
Ravi sir, there are a lot of brokers, including me, who have not done much land transaction. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
So
yes,
many viewers, including me, who have not done land transaction से थोड़ा डर लगता है लोगों को कि बहुत complicated होगा, बहुत सारे उसमें knowledge होनी चाहिए, बहुत सारे government offices में जाना पड़ता है. So because you are a master of land transaction, so can you share some tips if somebody wants to do a land transaction, what he should do and what he should not do?
Okay, first let me tell you why it is complicated. Land transactions are complicated because titles in this country, and I'm making a sweeping statement,
Yes.
Titles in this country are not clear and marketable. Though there are solicitors who will give you a title certificate, they do it with enough preamble to save their sanats.
True.
They will say things like, with all papers made available to me and the information given to me, it appears that the land may be clear and marketable.
Yes.
Each word is vague and ambiguous,
Very true.
so that they cannot be caught. One, the reason why I'll take only a minute. We do not register birth, we do not register death. So how can your titles be clear? If you go back in time, Bombay has a lot of leasehold properties. All of South Bombay is lease.
Yes.
Cochin is lease. Calcutta is lease. So wherever the British, who are very smart, wanted to deal in land or wanted to use the land, they said, they knew that ye log record to rakhte nahi hai, marriage ka record nahi hai, so how can the title be clear? Birth and death is not recorded, how can the title be clear? So they said, whatever is your title, I am leasing from you for 999 years.
True.
So therefore, several lifetimes tak they can use our land. So what we used to do is, we would go to the authorities, get each area in Pune had a layout. We would get the layout, get the addresses of owners, go meet the owners. We have done hell of a lot of legwork and ask them what prices they want, etc., etc. Then have our own due diligence, the basic boxes we used to tick off. And that is how my man became the best revenue man in Pune.
Sure.
Because without revenue data, that is how the title is flown, in essence, you cannot do a land transaction. Otherwise, you'll waste a lot of effort and realize that the land was never clear. Okay. So there was never any product, if I put it in simple terms. Okay. So land you must spend a little time, like in all verticals, you have to spend a lot of time in learning all verticals these days. You can't sell IT, for example, unless you know basics of architecture, So therefore, we did all the learning. Lawyers taught us a lot. And still, as a consequence of land, which gives you a lot of revenue, but also it takes away what God gave you free. So that is what we do in land.
Yes.
Get to the titles, get to owners, understand the thing, that land. You have to internalize like any other product. Now today, you can't sell a flat the way you used to sell it in 1982.
True.
You can't sell it like that at all, because all information is available to everybody. Right? What value add are you doing to sell a flat? So those kind of things. Why did we do more than 100 webinars of learning in this COVID times?
Yes.
Yeah?
So again, going back to, like as you said, 87 या 80 और 90s में जिस तरीके से ब्रोकर काम करता था, तो उनके पास रिसोर्सेज बहुत लिमिटेड थे और इसलिए पूरे ट्रांजेक्शन को और प्रोसेस को ज्यादा टाइम लगता था. आज रिसोर्सेज बहुत अवेलेबल है, रेरा आ गया, जीएसटी आ गया, एज यू सेड, किसी के बारे में आप ऑनलाइन जाके उसका बैकग्राउंड चेक करना है तो चेक कर सकते हैं. So, do you think technology has really changed our real estate broking industry, and how have you adopted technology in your organization?
So technology changed the way we do business for sure. We recognized this about 10 years ago. So we started our own back office, which started giving us backup that we required. But technology will help us in systems, processes, to do a job more professionally. It will help us to generate leads. But at the end of the day, the crucial things that are there in catering to a client still remain. You have to understand the person's need clearly, or create a want by creative marketing. And you have to cater to that need to satisfy the person. Yeah. So what we did, we are very clear on one thing. Customer satisfaction is at the top of the charts as far as my office is concerned. And then when things go wrong and
of the company.
Sorry, you said something?
Those are your core values of your company.
That's right. Customer satisfaction is a must. To the exclusion of everything else, you must, when there is a problem, you do whatever is required to be done to resolve it. One. The other thing that is a core part of our company is that the product may have a warranty period, but service has no warranty period.
Excellent.
We have what we sold to somebody called Madhu Debashi, who was head of MD of Trisil in Pune. Tabu sold her a bungalow about 30 years ago. Now when she resold it, she didn't have any papers, she had lost them. Our office spent 8 months to try to get her the papers.
Very good.
And that is, we haven't done anything new.
No.
We have to do that. And you have to be there for the person.
Excellent.
Huh?
So
technology.
Yeah,
Tabu wants to.
Do you want to add something on core value?
Well, Ravi has added most of the things, and we also always say that clients are the king. Without clients, we have got really nothing. Everything that we create is because of our clients. If we have no customers, so satisfaction of customers is first thing that comes in any business, not just real estate business, all the businesses. So that takes the priority. Besides that, you have to have your own ethics in the way you work, the transparency, the honesty, integrity, way we deal. We never ever take any galas. That is absolute no-no in our business. In our office, we have got the set rule, never ever take galas. We have to take what is due to us.
Very good.
So this is one of the major things that we have to keep on doing things ethically.
Great. So now looking at today's market, what kind of process or marketing activities you do to generate business? Though you must be getting majority of your business from your existing customer who are, very good relationship you have built with them. But, you need if you want to grow in any company, you should have new customer because the world is changing, your customer is changing. So how do you?
We can't survive on references alone.
Right.
Social media does generate a lot of our leads. We do very strange things also. We invest a lot in anything new, and it is a little difficult for me to learn new things because of maybe whoever I am. But I have learned one thing, because it is business related: embrace technology, without which you will not survive. Okay. So either you're on the net or you're out of business. For example, Ram Padi says that all the time.
Yes.
Most recently, I'll tell you what we did. A few months ago, we participated in a virtual exhibition. We went to 10 builders and we told them that you give us 3 projects each, and we will have a virtual exhibition of your project online for 1 month. And whatever we get out of that, and we will register all our clients with them. Yeah. Now this was absolutely new technology. You can go online. That was virtual exhibition. There was a friend of mine, Anuj Mathur, who is a member of PROP, that is Professional Realtors of Pune. And so we both invested 10 lakhs in it and did this virtual exhibition. So there are new ideas coming all the time, Vinod, and we need to recognize it as an opportunity and see that we exploit it to further our business.
Any specific training you do in your company for your people, apart from what NAR India and other organization is doing?
Yes, we do it. Yes, every week. Every week we have a meeting. We have, this is fixed for Friday. We all sit together and we give each one takes on one topic. He has to do the research on the topic, and in the meeting we have to talk. One person has to give all the details, whatever the learning is of that product, whatever it is. You know, we have various things. We talk about land sealing, or we may talk about dealing with clients or back office. How do you manage back office? How do we manage technology? How do we manage media? How do we get to LinkedIn? What do we do when we are on LinkedIn? Or anything, you know, any topic we find, and one person has to do research, so that we are sure that the person who has done research has thoroughly understood what is to be understood. And also, once you explain, everybody is part of that program.
So how
So
many,
that is
what is the size?
every Friday we do it.
Excellent. Yeah, that's amazing. I think.
And we have a lunch together, all of us.
So I don't know. I don't know many company I have heard of for doing every Friday. This kind of program for your team. So how big is your team in your company?
Team is not very big. We are a small team.
We are only 9 people.
9 people selling, plus we have all the other staff like our accountant and then our receptionist and whatever. That is the rest of them. But we selling people are 9. So
Yes,
we all sit together and we do this.
Excellent.
विनोद, हमारे पास एक बहुत बड़ी चीज है.
हाँ सर.
बहुत बड़ा धन है, संतोष धन.
Yes.
So we are.
We are not people, sir. It is not, in Broker Ki Paathshala, what is happening is every company from different city coming and sharing their thoughts. It is not about number. Please understand. So this is for viewer also. Please never understand that if I say my company has 500 members, that doesn't mean that I am doing more business or I am bigger than organization. I think certain things creates you as an organization. It is not about only the size.
To add to what Tabu has just said to
Yes.
you, we institutionalize learning because there's a hell of a lot to learn these days.
True.
So any new idea that anybody picks up in the office, it has to be thought through at how it can be applicable, can be used. One is just an idea. The other is usage of that and how we can use it best in our business, in a day-to-day activity. I must share something with you that we do as a matter of policy. Our people are told that as far as possible, you should not have lunch alone. You must have lunch with your client or your colleague. And there are there is reason for it. Because, in a formal setup, a client doesn't open up about what is really his need. Right. What is his real budget? Is he going to require finances? Does he have to borrow from a financial institution? Does he have to renegotiate his dowry? This all he's not going to tell you over a formal setting. Over lunch, you tend to tell your stories. Selling is about listening stories.
Yes.
And the people who listen stories best and show interest in your life are the ones who score in selling all the time.
Amazing. Fantastic. Sir, what kind of message you want to give? Because since last couple of months, most of the city were in lockdown. Of course, slowly it is now getting open. So there are a lot of challenges for broking fraternity. So what 2 or 3 things you will suggest brokers to move on from this position?
Should I come in first?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I think in good times as well as in bad times, the best thing for one to be is positive. You can't be bogged down and you can't say, no, things are bad and now we have to sit and cry and now nothing is going to work. So we have to be positive and do the right things possible. There are a whole lot of webinars that are happening, a lot of learning that is coming online. Use media, something, sitting at home, you can do many things. So that's what we also have been doing, being part of many such webinars and working on ourselves. Secondly, if not this business, then there is something else. We can do small businesses. If not big flats, we don't have to sell big flats or luxury flats. We can do small flats which are available. People are there with small budgets also. Small shops, retail shops. This really helps. And now, of course, logistics, which has come in, which I think Ravi will talk about because he is doing a lot of work on logistics. And one must use technology, most important. And technology is something that's going to take us further anyway. So I think that is where we stand. So now the best thing that has happened to us is NAR India. And of course, NAR India with NAR USA and all the other countries that we are connected with. So learning can be enhanced from there. So we should be moving on. Good times are always going to come. There is always bad times and good times. And that we have seen throughout in last 4 decades, we have seen so many recessions and this goes down and it has to come up. So it will come up.
I always share this example, it's about bad time and good time. When you have a chest pain, you go to cardiologist, वो आपका ECG निकालता है. तो ECG निकालता है तो अगर वो आपका ऐसा है, उसका मतलब you are alive.
Yes, that's true. अगर flat हुआ तो means go to sleep. Forever you go to sleep. Yeah. That is. And also we have to learn to be more human, more empathetic, compassionate. So these are the times when you have to help people, be compassionate and help people around us.
So in this unprecedented challenge to humanity that we are undergoing, my take on it is, I'm just expanding on what Tabu just said, that all battles are won between the years first. I think of business cycles as not as business cycles, but these are in different times you have to do different things. I will just conceptualize what Tabu has been talking. Increase the number of verticals that you are dealing in. So she's talking of affordable housing, standalone retail, because malls mein ja nahi sakte.
Yes.
So we have found lot of inquiries coming for shops, renting of shops as well as selling of shops. Affordable housing, like I told you day before yesterday, my joint venture sold 3 flats, small flats, totaling to only 2 crores. But that is movement. It gives you confidence as a company. Do more verticals, reach out to more people, do multi-city business. Take this as an opportunity to do multi-city business. And for God's sake, constantly learn, because you won't get this opportunity again. You're not going to be sitting still in your house. Normally we used to study for about 1 month every year when we were in college. और उससे हम लोग जो भी marks मिलते थे वो 1 महीने में मिलते थे. So I keep telling Tabu, अपने को तो 4-5 डिग्री तो इधर ही मिल जाती थी. ये 5 महीने में. And if we really look at everything as a joyous journey, you will find solutions. Because you're constantly looking.
I think you have been always forward thinking, and instead of expanding your organization in different city, you have chosen to be a part of Tarayo, which has got a multiple city operation, and you are the chairman of Tarayo. So tell our viewers about that opportunity so that it can open up for other people also.
So actually, yeah, you're right. We thought that we had a omnipresent solution when we started NAR India. The genesis of which was that we wanted all our realtors in India also to have an opportunity like the IPCs, because before the IPCs came, IPCs is International Property Consultants, and we represented, like I told you, JLL in Pune. Then we saw that when the expressway came, we started losing our clients to them because all these guys opened large offices in Pune. Now, when Naresh came with the idea in 2007 that we can have a National Association of Realtors, which should be modeled after National Association of Realtors US, we jumped at it, and my association in Pune was one of the first to join in it.
Yes.
And it gave us an opportunity to do multi-city broking across the country. But what we found over many years, that in this loose structure, when you share your opportunities with people and you don't have the kind of networking, if you don't have the kind of networking that you require, then the commitment from other brokers from other cities is not that much.
Oh, very true.
Therefore, we said we should formalize it into a company, and we made a private limited company with 13 directors, giving solutions in 13 cities. Incidentally, Terra has done very well in these times because we did very well in student housing, for example.
Very true.
We've done really well in that. We've done well in standalone retail. We've done deals in. Now, surprisingly, people are planning to make more malls. We've got inquiries for malls.
Yes.
So now we have a closer and more focused effort to do multi-city business. And we took a year and a half, thanks to outstanding effort by everybody, Tarun especially, that we have protocols and processes in place that facilitate business of diverse people who are independently doing well. The challenge is that this multi-city thing, you should think of as your own first business, then it will do well.
Excellent.
If you think of it as a side business, it won't do well.
Very true. Very true.
And we've got enough case studies in NER India, I'd say.
True. And secondly, I believe real estate is absolutely local business. Every city and every state has a different laws. So being in one city, we have seen in developers also, not many developers went out in other city and, they were not successful. So in special broking, it is more challenging. So if you have a good, strong network, I think that is the best thing to do. That collaboration is very good. And and this is a good idea. Our viewer can also think about, sitting in one office in one city. You can collaborate with great minds. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Each director is bringing local expertise and is a leader in his own field in that city.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow here Chandresh hai, for example.
Yeah, Chandresh is amazing.
He's a performing broker.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think, thank you both of you. We have shared a lot of things about profession, but it is said, you are what you are if you, it's about what you are giving back to the society. So both of you are a great giver, I know. So you are also associated with, as Ravi sir is a contributor, he is very passionate about giving back to the realty fraternity. So maybe EAP, maybe PROP, maybe NIR India. So I have not seen so much passion for any realtor in India. The way he is, giving, he's always there to give wherever and whatever he can give back to the society. And also you are associated with Rotary for almost long 35 years. So my friend Virendra was telling he once a Rotarian, you cannot discontinue. So he has requested you to again join and be there throughout the life. You can't leave Rotary in between. And before you answer, I'll request our viewer, if you have any question, please put it in the chat box so that after this conversation, we can start the interaction of the question also. And your another friend, Mini Khosla, have joined. She is there on. I saw the chat. So you can say hi to her also.
Hi, Mini.
Yes, Ravi sir.
Yes. Your question.
Other organizations, sir. What?
So I was a Rotarian for 35 years, and those were very satisfying years, I must say. When I became chairman, of NAR India, I resigned from Rotary because I felt that I should, I won't have the time, and therefore I should not just occupy a position. That was the main thing. I'm also a member of Infrastructure Committee of MCHI, and which is an excellent organization. Tabu is a member of Spectrum, but more importantly, she is very passionate about singing.
Yes, I know. We have to have one session.
So she is part of 8 groups there.
Excellent.
And then she. So what we try to do is that wherever we can, see if you've got enough for yourself, then everything else is for giving back.
Super. Very well.
Whether it is, and I'm not talking about money.
Yes.
Because I will immediately start getting requests that hamare ko itna chahiye and all. So
see, what you are doing right now, sir, you are sharing your wisdom, you are sharing your knowledge. I think this can, if somebody adapt something good thing and put it in their practice, they can earn big money. One idea from you can create a great wealth for them. So this is no less than sharing money.
Yes. So, Tabu, you want to say something?
Yes.
So that's what we are doing. These are the organizations that occupy most of our time. We periodically, wherever we have friends who are doing a lot. Tabu talked about her friend Indu, for example.
Yes.
There are opportunities that come once in a while. Like from there also, she's part of a charity called Cuddles, where you feed children who are recovering from cancer. So most of the time,
actually that is Indu's work, and Indu is the one who has.
So she introduced us to that, and that is and that's an excellent activity, and extremely rewarding, because most of the time, after the cure, you require nourishment. And that nourishment is not only for the child, but also for the whole family. Because you can't be giving one set of nourishment to the child and the rest of the family that doesn't have enough nourishment. Those kind of things are there. So
you both are avid traveler. I've seen, I'm following
yes,
you.
We are.
Yes, we love traveling. We both love traveling. We are forever traveling.
So now
and at this moment, we are totally grounded.
So what is left so right now in last 4 months, you must have inward journey. You were traveling outside the world. I think these 4 months must have given you opportunity to look within, travel within. So what is left in the world where you have not traveled?
Well, there are many places in the world where we have not traveled. We have not traveled within ourselves, Within ourselves, it's a long, big journey which requires a lot of work.
Great.
And that requires time, patience.
Yes.
So I'm back into my yoga, which I was busy doing my gym all the time. So now this opportunity has given me time to get back into yoga, and only yoga and yoga and yoga, only that. And that has given me a lot of satisfaction and happiness. So
excellent. So
a lot of peace of mind also.
Great. I admire both of you's physical fitness. There are certain things you both are amazing. So now we are coming into the final end, where we have a question which is related with the personal choice. Sir, and I always believe that all successful people, what they do in business doesn't make them successful, but what they do outside the business in their personal life, their choice of certain things, that is what makes them successful in life. So one-liner question I am asking both of you. So first, Tabu, if you were not Realtor, what would have been? What would have been other choice?
I think I would have been into health field. Definitely I would be a yoga teacher, or into music. Music I'm doing now, and I enjoy it thoroughly. I'm into classical music, and I love classical. So I listen to a lot of classical. I practice every day, and that is what I do, and that is my passion.
Great.
Today I like dancing. I like everything that is good, that give fun in life. So I also did Kathak at one time
Wow.
till I had problems with my knee and I had to stop doing that. So dancing, singing,
Great. So you
exercise,
had a
that
lot
is
of
what,
opportunity and choices. Yes, Ravi sir. Had you
yeah,
been a
yeah.
realtor, what you would have been?
If I wasn't in real estate, I would be in I would be in some form of marketing
Correct.
because I can't think of my life as anything else. I never had any confusion about what I want to do with my life. I may not have liked a job, but I never had a doubt about the career that I chose. Um, and for a long time, I've spent a lot of time with myself when I used to travel alone. So I developed, even when you're in a boarding school, when you come home, you don't have local friends because they know that this guy is going to go away. So they're not willing to invest time in you.
Very
So I
true.
developed hobbies like reading, all types of reading, whether it is history or philosophy or whatever, biographies. They are very enriching. So I would not have difficulty in spending time. I may have become a teacher. My sister, incidentally, is a teacher, and she's a director at a major university.
What does success means to you, Tabu ma'am?
Success means many, many things. Success is not just about money. Success is about relationship, compassion, empathy, humbleness, kind of person you are, the relationships that you build, more relationship, more friends. Like in my real estate business, all my clients became my friends, and they are my very, very few with who has cheated me, and most of them I have had generally a very, very good time. So I think it's all about friends, and all these friends have become my family. Not just friends; they are my family. Tomorrow, anything happens, I can just go to them and depend on them.
Amazing.
So that is what is most important, more important than money. Of course, money is very, very important. Without money,
The byproduct.
that is
When you are
nothing. Yeah,
doing this, yeah.
yeah.
Yes, Ravi sir. What does success means to you?
Success means freedom to do what you want to do.
Wow.
To me,
Fantastic.
that is, it gives you the latitude
Excellent.
to make the choices that success allows you to do.
Very good. Excellent. Very good, sir.
So
And,
that is what I think of as
you
success.
are an avid reader also. So, which is the best books you loved it in your lifetime? And
Well, when I was a youngster, I thought Ayn Rand was absolutely the best,
yes.
and I thought Rand was religion at one time. When I evolved from there, I realized then that she was promoting capitalism and only capitalism. But I did imbibe a lot of value system from there. I like history a lot, but I read for my senses as well as for the mind. So it depends on, biographies are extremely interesting. Right now I'm reading Anarchy, the history of uh, great the British in India.
Okay.
William Dalrymple has written a very good book. Said how a small company in London, which had only 5 windows, Vinod, it will surprise you, which ruled most of the world from there.
Wow.
And conquered a country like ours and stayed here for 300 years.
Yes.
And it was essentially a small company in London with only 5 windows. It's an excellent book, Anarchy. And so at various times one is exposed to it.
Yes. And who is your Bollywood? First, we'll finish with you, then we'll come back to Tabu ma'am. Who is your favorite actor and actress in Bollywood? Whom do you like in Bollywood?
Tabu, go first.
No, first, we'll finish all question to them. That will be better, Yeah.
So I like a lot of people who are genuinely good actors. Like most people, I like Amitabh. I like I like Nasiruddin Shah. We like Irfan a lot. He's not alive anymore.
What about
People who act, we don't really like, I haven't really liked many stars.
What
Some
about
of them are good.
female actors?
Rekha,
Rekha and Rekha.
first number 1 to 10 is Rekha.
Rekha and Rekha and Rekha.
And then Madhubala, then Vahida Rahman.
Who has made the most influence in your life? An individual who has made influence.
Individual in my life was my mother.
And which is the place you like place in India?
Sorry?
Which is the place you like the most in India and the other part also?
Tabu and I both like Goa a lot. Partly because very good friends live there, and it has a lot to offer, we think. At one time we did believe that Bangalore was nice, but not anymore because it's too urbanized. We think Goa is very good.
And which sports you like and any sports person?
I like many sports. I would love to play cricket till I die.
Yes.
I like table tennis. I'm pretty good at it. I like chess. So when I get an opportunity, I would like to play.
Which is one sports person you admire?
Plenty actually. Roger Federer comes to mind straight away.
What is your daily schedule? Because if I may ask you your age, I think it is 68, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is 68. Yeah.
You know what I loved about you is at this age you are as young as any millennial.
I mean, I'm not. I have a mirror at home, Vinod, so I don't bluff myself.
You are ready to learn. You are very fit.
Yeah, I'm ready to learn. Yes, but
see, that is what is young. That is being young. If somebody starts learning, he is finished. Whatever age he or she may be. So, what is your daily schedule? What keeps you?
So both of us get up at around 6 o'clock. Whenever we sleep, we're up at about 6. So we walk between 8 and 9 kilometers a day. Then she does yoga. I do exercise for about 40 minutes. Then we have a pretty healthy lifestyle. I've been having Chyawanprash since I was a kid. I have 1 anar every day. Both of us do that. We have 2 oranges every day. We have badam in the morning. This is
very regimental. That is very regimental. And don't forget
this is
Karela juice. Karela juice every single day.
We have Karela juice with a little bit of haldi every morning.
Very good.
And that's what then we work. Both of us work. We work together. You did, and we are back at 7. Very often we party after that. If we are not partying, then we see one good movie that both of us agree on every day. And we choose something that we know has good reviews. So then we don't waste that time.
He looks at reviews. Me, I look at whatever I like.
Great. Thank you, sir. And Tabu, what is your favorite book? If you are reading, you are also a good reader.
I generally read books on yoga nowadays. So that is what I'm reading. I'm not a voracious reader like the way Ravi is. If one thing was there, we were never encouraged to read in our childhood. So that habit was never formed. Yes. But coming and living with Ravi, yes, I started reading and I read many books. And with Ravi, I read Enra and all those books that Ravi reads. Also, Ravi will read and then say, okay, now you read this. And I will read. Whatever he reads, I will read after he is finished. Because he is my mentor where reading is concerned. And so everything that he likes, I also start reading. I may or may not like. I'm never interested too much into history. Ravi is all the time into history, which is not my cup of tea.
Great. And who is your Bollywood favorite star, both hero and heroine?
I really don't know who is my favorite star. I like Amir Khan. I like each one for what work they do. So I like Amitabh Bachchan when he is doing good work. I like Amir Khan. He does very good, makes very good film. And then of course my little boy Purab Purab Kohli.
Yeah.
He has acted very well in Rock On, and then there
Yeah,
was
Rock On
another movie which was where it was all about I can't remember the name of the movie. It was about the gays.
Yes.
You know, so I would say Purab
My
Kohli
brother
is
Nikhil.
a very
Yeah,
very
My
yeah,
good
brother Nikhil.
actor.
yes,
You know,
yes.
but you know the way Bollywood is, the way he should have got more opportunities. But
Yes.
then wherever he is. You know, so that is it. Even for females, I think whoever does good acting is good. But I do love Madhubala. I used to like Madhubala, and I always like her. I think there was no star has been like, but not star really. She was not a star. She was, I think, people's favorite at that time. So
Great. I think amazing, and who is your favorite singer? Because you are great in singing, so you must be having somebody who.
when you talk about classical, my idol is Kaushiki. Kaushiki.
Ah.
Kaushiki Chakrabarti. She is one of the emerging, I wouldn't say emerging, she is already emerged, and she is one of the best female classical singer. She is very young, very pretty, and very well trained. Her father is Ajay Chakrabarti,
Yes.
who was her teacher, and very strict teacher like my grandfather. As she says, that he never ever allowed her to do anything else but sing for 14-15 hours a day. Nothing. She was not allowed anything. And he never treated her as a daughter. It was always like a student and teacher relation, guru and Shishya relation. So I would say my singer is Kaushiki, where classical is concerned. Where Bollywood is there, it is Gita Dutt, Asha Bhosle, and I like those kind. I like good songs.
Excellent.
So
So
good
even
music is always good.
your friend Minnie also acknowledged what you said. So now
Yeah.
it's time, both of you were excellent. I really enjoyed the conversation. I didn't know how we completed almost 1.5 hours, and there's lot more to know about you. I will have to do a session again. I will have to call you in another session to know more about you. But it was really pleasure for me to unfold your personality, both of you, for the entire broking fraternity in India. There are many people who are online right now, and including Minnie, everybody wants to listen few lines from you, Tabu. So
Oh my God.
yours.
Minnie herself is a great singer.
Yeah, she's amazing singer.
Yeah, and we have spent so much time together, singing together,
Yes.
when we were in Jindal.
Yes.
So I would like to put in the music because I would like karaoke on
Please
while I'm singing.
do so.
I'm going to sing my caller tune because that's one song which I love, and that is why it is my caller tune.
Excellent. And it gives a good message also.
Yes. नहीं 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 है बातें, ये बातें हैं पुरानी। कैसी पहेली है ये, कैसी पहेली जिंदगानी। थामा और रोका इसको किसने, हाँ ये तो बहता पानी। कैसी पहेली है ये, कैसी पहेली जिंदगानी। La 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 la. Zoo 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 zoo. Zoo 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 zoo. इसमें नशा जिसमें किया वो गम में हंसा, पल में हंसाए और पल में रुलाए ये कहानी। कैसी पहेली है ये कैसी पहेली जिंदगानी थामा और रोका इसको किसने हाँ ये तो बहता पानी कैसी पहेली है ये कैसी पहेली जिंदगानी That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you, for had a great time. A few questions I would like to ask. One is, what is your message to all women realtor of India?
I would say it's a very, very, if you have to be in any business, real estate is one of the better businesses to be in because it requires very little investment and the returns on whatever you are investing is great. And it is, you come in contact with a lot of people, you make friends with a lot of people, you do good business with people, and you are always there, you know. So I would say one of the better things to do is real estate. But then it requires a lot of time, energy. It is not like earlier times when we used to just say, okay, chalo, it can be done as a hobby. It's not an hobby. It is real full-time business. And one has to really learn to embrace technology, be part of the media, be whatever is there happening in the world. One must be aware of that. And I think that is what message I would give. There should be more realtor ladies in our business. In India, we have got about 110 ladies in our broker association. Whereas in USA, out of 1.3 million people, 63% are ladies.
Wow.
So this is the empirical data from 2017. We don't have the fresh data, but this is what has come out. So I think even we should have more ladies joining into this business and be part of it. But we do have 4 ladies who were in very responsible, good position. They were presidents of their own agencies and their own place, yeah, wherever they came from. I think one was from Delhi, one from Bombay, one from Bhopal, and from Chennai or something, I think. But then I think one should encourage, and ladies should be encouraged into this business.
Great. Thank you. I'm sure the number is growing in India, and maybe another decade's time we will cross over US data.
I hope so. I hope so. And we have got much more larger population.
Yes, yes.
So we should have many more ladies in the business.
I'm sure after this session, many young women will encourage to join real estate.
Yeah, but we see a lot of them in south of India, you know, but not North India. North India is still, you know, male dominated, as you say.
It will change. Sir, Ashwin Unadkar from Rajkot is asking, give us a few success mantra for our fraternity. Your voice unmute, sir. Please unmute.
Unmute, Ravi.
Can you unmute?
Ashwin, first and foremost, I do hope that you recover very quickly. He's on his way already. He was infected, if Vinod, if you did not know.
I didn't know that.
He's recovering very quickly. He should be out of quarantine by Sunday. Ours is a 27/4 business. That is point number 1. The other is that the way it is today, it is a professional business run as a professional setup using the best practices from across the world, because the world is growing smaller as technology advances. We must understand that now when you want to be a broker, investments would be less, but effort would be much more.
Yes.
The investment of our time and effort in the right direction, with the right strategy and with the correct kind of organizational structures, because there are people who come into the line and they immediately have 200 people in a large city selling. Now, But for a single person also, if he does it right, specializes in whatever he is doing, whether it is one vertical or it is in 10 verticals. If he specializes even in one vertical, he'll make a hell of a lot of money. So, but whatever you're doing, please specialize in it. You should know it inside out. If you don't know it inside out, you won't be successful. Why should anybody come to us unless we can add value?
Excellent.
You know? So
there is another question from Preeti Chadda, and the question is, how do we filter unprofessional brokers, or when will this organization get licensed?
So Preeti, you already need to be registered with RERA. So that is like a license. And Maharashtra, Preeti, has the largest number of registrations in the country. We are more than 35,000 real estate brokers registered with RERA. And if you are not registered with RERA, builders will not entertain you. So that is automatically a license. It's a filter, you know. And we are working towards seeing that you pass an exam before RERA will give you acceptance.
Great. Once again, I think we are coming to end the session. Ravi sir and Tabu ma'am, for me it was amazing experience. I know
for us also.
Great, it was so good. Vinod, thank you so much. You know, I'm really grateful to you to invite you invited us, and you know. And I was telling Ravi, why me? Why you are calling? Why he's calling me? You should be there on the. What can I teach?
No, I am a great fan of yours, and I am a great admirer of you, because I have found you in last 10 years. Whenever I have met you, you have a special touch in your hand. You know, you are a godly person. I personally felt that experience. So I always love to see you. You are bubbling, enthusiastic, positive, smiling. And you brings life to the people, you know, wherever you go. I think it's a great thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So we would like to, because of your presence, we would like to present a small certificate because of lockdown. What we have done is every speaker comes here. We are contributing. We have a Rotary project, and Ravi, being a Rotarian, knows that I am also Rotarian. So there is a project called Annapurna for our district, and you know, there are more deaths in India because of hunger than COVID. So this time our district has taken this Annapurna project. So this is a project which we are supporting from Square Feet Foundation. So this is a certificate of appreciation to both Tabu and Ravi to express our gratitude on behalf of all the brokers who are online and the entire industry, to Realtors Estate Consultants for their gracious presence and significant contribution in making Broker Ki Paathshala a great success. We are pleased to sponsor 100 meals under Annapurna project by Rotary Club of Mumbai, Daisar, which will provide food for underprivileged. So please accept this certificate on behalf of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Anything you would like to say finally?
Yes, I would like to thank all the people around, everybody who's there on the panel. I would like to thank people who make special effort to come on this panel. Thank you so much, my friend Mini, Aparna, Indu, and all the others. I don't know who all are there. Maybe Virendra is there. Whoever is there. Thank you so much.
Ravi sir.
Thanks, buddy. You know, I admire your leadership qualities and your ability to teach people. You bring out the best in everybody. And I hope to gain from our friendship always the warmth and affection that you have shared with us.
Thank you.
It's amazing always.
Thank you, sir. And
Vinod, I'm also a great admirer of you. You know, you are amazing. You know, have got a great leadership quality. You can, as I always tell you, you can be the chairman, next chairman, sometime or the other, you are going to be the chairman.
Nice of you for that feeling. And friends, we are coming to the end of this session, and let me present to you the next speaker for 7th session of Broker Ki Paathshala. It is coming from city Mumbai, Bollywood city, the economic capital of India. And the company is L. Lakshman Das and company, Mr. Kishore Narang and Ashok Narang. And this is a 3-generation company started in 1964 by Mr. L. Lakshman Das. So there will be a lot of stories and amazing interaction with both of these gentlemen and their next generation. So please log in to Broker Ki Paathshala on next Saturday at 12 o'clock. Till then, thank you very much. Everybody, please stay safe and take care of yourself and do
You
more
too.
in lockdown. Thank you very much. So
You
nice.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.